which, as that turns out, is a lie. Oh, hello, Internet! My name is Blitz, and today we are back with Inane on the Internet. Now, this episode is going to be something special. It's still internet related, mostly, but it's something a bit more personal. I have been looking for a new apartment. Everything is great, except it's not, because the world is full of liars. I personally motion that we replace the metaphor situation of comparing somebody who is a fast talker and slick and they talk a lot of bullshit and it sounds legit, but if you really look at it, it's not, just kind of a charismatic sleazeball. I propose that we replace the simile of saying that type of person is like a car salesman, saying they're instead like a leasing agent, because holy fuck, I'm looking within a certain radius of my place of employment. You know, it's kind of a metropolis area. It's like right on the border of several different cities, so I should be able to find something, you would think. But no, because everything seems really varied at first, but as you go in, you discover that no, actually, the reason it seems so varied is because people lie all the time. This place, as an example, so we'll call this place Wuthering Heights. Honestly, it's not that different of a name from the actual place. The more pretentious everything is. So this place, they advertise as $700 a month for this place. For about 900 to 800 square feet. So I go in and I say, I'm looking to move in September earliest, November latest. And they say, okay, we have one place available in that time frame, which is wrong. Their website says that there are 2 units, but the one place was available earlier. So they're just gonna assume that that place is going to be snatched up. And it may not be a big deal if those places were exactly the same, but they're not. And here's why. This one unit that they said was available is actually a renovated unit. And it's the new unit, so it's got new appliances and new floors and a fireplace. I don't need a fucking fireplace. Why would I want to vent to the outside that's gonna bump up my utilities? And I know for a fact that they're not going to let me start a fire with like legit wood and shit in their fucking fancy ass apartment complex. So it's going to be gas. So I don't want to pay for that extra. What the fuck? In addition, this particular fireplace does not fit into the wall. It juts out like in a corner of a room. So you can maybe put shit on it, but all that floor space is not there no more. So, on top of this new renovated unit being $100 more for the fact that it's new and renovated and has a fireplace, it's also less square footage. So, that was a great first impression. I look at the unit, I go back, and I'm kind of and talk to the person. They say, okay. So this place is rounding $850 a month. I'm like, okay. Still more than I was looking to spend. So in my mind, I'm already like, I'm not really wanting to do this. But I let her do the talk, whatever. And she said, okay, so that's that. And then you pay for all utilities, which I'm like, okay, not unusual. That's, I guess, another reason why I don't want to do that, because that's more money on top of everything. But then she continues and says, which includes water, sewer, trash, and pest control. Now, I can understand the water. Most places in the areas that in this region have water included, because water's just dirt cheap, and actually, it's more financially responsible for the complex to just say that they're going to pay for water and then charge more than it actually is. That if somebody would be just responsibly conserve water, you would probably save more money than if water was included in the rent. Nevertheless, I understand that. However, sewer, trash, and pest control, I fucking don't. Because you know what? The people are gonna come and pick up the trash whether I'm here or not. They're gonna come and spray the building with the pest control thing that I don't really have a choice who that is, whether I'm here or not. The sewer is going to run whether I'm here or not. Me and my little self is not going to make $35 apparently more of a difference in those things. So I was like, oh, we're strapping in for some bullshit. Because she goes on to tell me there's the application fee, $50. Not unusual, but again, bullshit. I should not have to pay that much to apply. And it's the same with colleges. Why do I have to pay to apply? I understand that you want to like cut down on people who aren't super serious about wanting a place, and so you're lowering the paperwork. But $50, anything more than $10, like something I can just pull out of my pocket sort of fee is ridiculous in my opinion. But there's more, because then there's the administration fee. Which is, how is that different than the application fee? Because the whole deal with the application fee is that the bullshit they spin is that it's to help pay for the added time that we have to look over the applications and do the necessary paperwork and do background checks and stuff, which is an administrative task. So what the fuck is the administration fee, and why is it $125?
Why?
Do you not pay your employees until somebody walks in through the door? Because at least I've seen the application fee otherwise. This is one of the first planes that I've seen an administration fee so blatantly high and so stupid. It's stupid. And then there's deposit. Most places that I've encountered, they either want the first month's rent or the first and last month's rent, which again, is obnoxious and way too much. The whole assumption that, oh, well, you'll get that back at the end and it's just to make sure that you don't wreck the apartment. That's not true. You should never be operating underneath the fact that once you give someone money, you're going to get that money back. That's just bad financial responsibility. I got my deposit back when I lived in an apartment that was run by a person. He was a good man. He gave me my deposit back because I didn't wreck anything, and actually I replaced several things in the apartment and made it better, so I got my deposit back. The complex I rented afterwards gave me, I think, out of the $900 or whatever that I spent for the deposit, they gave me like $28 back because there were like a string, like an actual string of yarn on the floor and crumbs in the oven. I used that oven once and it wasn't to make anything crumbly, so, but still, this place actually has the deposit listed as $225, which is shockingly low for a place that's like $850 a month. So all that comes out to, hold the fuck on, let me get that shit. Ooh! $400. That's half of the rent. That's low. So you know what? I could excuse the bullshit administration fee and whatever, because it's lower than everywhere else, which is like first month's rent, or worse yet, first and last month's rent. But then she continues. If you stalk me on any of my social media or here on YouTube, you may have noticed that I have cats. I have two. Sebastian and Pixel, and I love my boys very, very much. So of course I'm bringing them to an apartment complex that is pet friendly, and that's something this place advertises. We're pet friendly, which, as that turns out, is a lie. There's a 2-pet limit. Fine, I know that one. Not to exceed 50 pounds each. Breed restrictions apply. Let me read you some of the breed restrictions. They're specifically for dogs. And I've seen the breed restrictions. I think breed restrictions are stupid, first of all. I've worked with many different dogs. I used to work at a doggy I used to work in a doggy daycare. Bunch of different dogs, bunch of different personalities. As any person with any experience with any animals will tell you, it's not the dog, it's the person handling the dog that makes all the difference. So, with that said, I have seen breed restrictions. I've seen pit bulls, I've seen chows, and I've seen Rottweilers and whatever else. This list is so extensive. We start off strong with American Staffordshire Terrier, which is not a breed I've seen on any list in any of the places I've ever looked ever. And then we go into kind of standard, some more recognizable, such as Pit Bull, Rottweiler, German Shepherd, Husky. Oh, but wait, it's not Husky. It's Husky type, which I don't know what the fuck that means. I guess they kind of mean the different sort of genres of Husky, such as Siberian and other types. Or they could mean like things that look like Huskies but actually aren't. They kind of have that fluffy sort of deal. But like, that's not really, those are again two separate breeds, so I don't, what? Alright, so Malamute, Doberman Pinscher, Chow, Great Dane, Saint Bernard, which is a really weird one to have, because Saint Bernards are so gentle. That's the stereotype. And most of these breed restrictions on places, they operate on stereotypes. The only Saint Bernard that I've ever seen to be portrayed as violent or destructive is Cujo. Everything else involving Saint Bernards, cartoons, movies, TV shows, otherwise, portray Saint Bernards as this lovable, gentle giant, so I'm not entirely sure. And then we finish up with Akita, Wolf Hybrid, and any mixed breed that includes the aforementioned breeds. Right off the bat, the pet-friendly, big sort of thing they have on their website is called into question. But then she continues. So the pet policy is $20 per pet per month. Fine. I've heard that before. That's nothing unusual. There's $300 for one pet, of which $150 is non-refundable, which I think is stupid. But I guess whatever. The whole deal is that, well, we have to use some of that to clean extra because, you know, it's an animal, whatever. And then $400 for two pets. $200 is non-refundable. However, if you have non-declawed cats, the deposit goes up $100, but that's just for one cat. If you have two, it goes up another $100. So now the deposit is $600. Declawing your cat is illegal in many places, and it's not illegal in this county, in this area, but it is vastly and widely understood to be abusive and cruel, which is why I only know of one pet place, and it's like a farm vet that will do the operation. No, every other vet will refuse to do that. So the fact that they have that policy, the fact that they have that there, does not say that you give a shit about pets. So the pet-friendly thing, that's completely gone now. You could have all this stupid bullshit, the bullshit breed restrictions, that called it into question, but the fact that you actively punish people for not abusing their animals seals the deal. Not pet-friendly. Also, not written on here, but was told to me by the thing, is that the non-declawed cat rent is also more. So instead of $20 per pet per month, it's like $30 per pet per month. So that's more too. So now, on top of the $400 is this $600 deposit. So now the deposit is $1,000. That's $200 more than the rent. Fuck you! Of like so many places I've been to that have just advertised low prices and so they could get you in, and then they do this bullshit where they rack up the fees and the cost and all this, and then it ends up being more than the places that just straight up advertise what they cost. Like, the top place for me now is like around the $900 a month range, which is kind of high for me. I really don't want to spend that much money, but they were straightforward and honest about how much it was going to cost. This place is essentially the same cost per month for less square footage, and the deposit is higher. So why the fuck would I want to be part of your community? And did I even start my timer? I did not. Not that it fucking matters.